New Yorkers average 6 pounds of trash apiece every day, more than twice the amount of someone in Europe or Japan. So every day, more than 27,000 tons are removed from the city. If anything happens to stop that flow, it becomes a national story.
They're parking it everywhere. They're putting it atop the skyscrapers. It's all because of the 16-day-old New York City garbage strike.
During the financial crisis of the mid-'70s, the sanitation department was forced to lay off 20% of its workforce. New Yorkers complained bitterly as their city got dirtier. The sanitation men took the heat.
The people turn to us and say, you're the criminal because you're not cleaning the city properly. But what about the people who are dirtying it? What penalty do they get for dirtying the city, for dumping on New York? We're not dumping on New York, but we're the lowlife instead of those that are dirtying the city.
If there were a patron saint of sanitation, it would be Merrill Laderman Euclides. Merrill is an artist with a special interest in trash.
You can speak, you talk. I mean, what am I, the only guy around this place?
In 1978, Merrill decided to meet and thank every sanitation worker in New York City and to find out about the job.
People don't want to touch us. People don't want to touch us.
We don't make the garbage, we just pick it up. That's important, you know? People forget that. You see people carrying a bag to the truck like it was contaminated. That comes from your kitchen table.
It took Merrill over a year to meet all of the city's 8,500 sanitation workers.
Hi. Can I shake your hand?
Sure, why not?
Thank you.
During that time, a new commissioner increased funding.
Thank you for what you're doing for us.
Employees were rehired.
I wish there were 1,000 people.
One in a million.
Equipment was upgraded. In 1983, the city had an art parade. Normally, the sanitation department would be there to clean up after. But this time, Merrill had a different idea. Maintenance art would go on parade. A mirrored garbage truck led the way. It was an honest reminder of just who was involved in this trash business. For sanitation workers, it was a new day.
I love my job, I tell you. I've had a few jobs in my lifetime, and this is about the best job anyone can ever have.
Today, Aldo D'Ambrosi and his partner John Bundiagio collect trash in Chinatown.
Chinatown is a tough route. You got to get in and get out of there because about 10 o'clock the tourist bus come in. And then the garment trucks come in. So you got to move to get out of there.
The Commissioner of Sanitation for New York City is Brendan Sexton.
Well, we know how to collect trash. We know how to sweep the streets, and we know how to truck trash around. We use in the city trucks and barges to move it. But I think everyone realizes that we have a problem in disposing trash in America now, and it's a lot easier to pick it up than to put it down.
Trash used to be dumped at sea, but the Supreme Court made that illegal in 1934. Today, the principal repository for the city is the Fresh Kills landfill on Staten Island. By the turn of the century, shipments to Fresh Kills will have to stop. The landfill will be full. Like many cities, New York is running out of space for trash. Fresh Kills is the largest landfill in the world. But even if it were larger, its future would be in question.
Landfilling is cheap, but all landfills leak, and they all bleed gases into the air. And now we are finally coming to grips with the fact that we have to be responsible with what we do with the trash.
The plan is to recycle part of what comes here. Most of the rest would be incinerated. But critics worry that the ash left over by such burning will be so toxic that it will be difficult to landfill. And that an incineration plant in less than perfect working order will pollute the air.
We're going to convince people as best we can that this is a sound way to handle the trash. But many will be unconvinced. We're going to convince people as best we can that it really is important for them to separate their trash so we can recycle if possible, but many will not cooperate. We're going to convince people as best we can that we'll have to go on landfilling some stuff because there's nothing else to do with it, and some people will never appreciate it or agree. But in the end, I know we will do it because the garbage is there. The garbage will win. It's out there. You can't keep it away. No matter how you turn your head, put the pillow over your head, scream and cry, the garbage is coming. Let me put it this way. America and New York will either solve the garbage crisis because we start now investing and planning and building towards an environmentally safe solution, and we'll solve it now in the next few years, or we will solve the garbage crisis 10 years from now in a panic, in hysteria, at 20 times the cost and at 20 times the environmental damage because we waited too long and we did too much harm. But we will solve it somehow.
An interesting thing about these systems, they're invisible and pretty much ignored until they break down. And of course, they do break down, especially when they're ignored. It's a vicious circle, really. But given a little public insight, not inevitably so.
Funding for NOVA is provided by Lockheed, a bold new force in systems engineering, management, and technology services for defense, space, and industry. And the Johnson & Johnson family of companies, supplying healthcare products worldwide. Major funding for NOVA is provided by the financial support of viewers like you. For a transcript of this program, send $5 to this address or call 212-227-READ.